does this human device work? Well, volunteers, let's go take a look at the perplexing plants, the asters, with the human named Adam.
What's up, flower fans? So you're probably aware we are well into fall, which means it's aster season. By asters, of course, I mean those late flowering plants in the genus SYMPHYOTRICHUM that can be hard to differentiate because they all kind of look the same and most people write them off as weeds. But they are important components of the ecosystem in that they provide a crucial late season nectar source for a lot of insects before they either migrate or hunker down for the winter, or sometimes they move into your house. And they are also the last wave of flower color in the fall before everything goes to seed and turns brown, and then it gets cold and the winter depression starts to set in. So let's get out there and appreciate them while we still can. So we have about 24 or 25 species of asters in Missouri, with a bunch of different subspecies and varieties. But here at Litzinger we only have 5 to worry about. And all of them can be found out here in our prairies, sometimes along the edges of our woodlands. So we can go ahead and start with this one. Probably the easiest to differentiate. This is the New England aster, SYMPHYOTRICHUM novae Angliae. It has these relatively large and quite showy purple flowers. We do sometimes get a natural pink variety that occurs in Missouri, but this purplish color is the standard. So these are much more showy than our other aster species, and they're more commonly used in garden settings. They also get quite a bit taller than most other asters. These are kind of flopped over right now, but you do occasionally see them sticking out over other prairie plants this time of year. Here's aster number 2. So this is our heath aster, or downy aster, SYMPHYOTRICHUM pilosum. You can see the flowers are much smaller than the New England aster, typically white with yellow centers. And the Latin epithet pilosum means hairy, and if you look closely at the stems and the leaves, if my camera will focus, they are covered in very fine hairs, which helps us differentiate it from the other aster species we have here on site. Some nice tall New England right there. And, oh, here we go. So aster number 3, this one. This is the side flowering aster, SYMPHYOTRICHUM LATERIFLORUM. Flowers are much smaller than our other aster species and very densely clustered along the stems. It's also sometimes called CALICO aster because the centers of the flowers can sometimes be different colors. This is generally a more compact plant that's much smaller than our other species here. Limited to openings in the prairie and along the edges. And right next to it we have one of my favorites. This is the willow-leaved aster, SYMPHYOTRICHUM PRAEALTUM. Forms these nice big mats of these light lavender colored flowers. They grow in clusters like this. This is fine lanceolate foliage that resembles willow leaves, hence the common name. Got a nice clump of New England aster here. Got one more, and I think this is it. So this is our panicled aster, SYMPHYOTRICHUM lanceolatum. Looks a lot like the heath aster, except the leaves and stems are not hairy. But yeah, typically white flowers, yellow centers, sometimes a reddish color like the CALICO aster. And this one you'll also see on the edges of our woodlands. Alright, so we found all 5. So that concludes our tour of Litzinger.
What now?
Trick or treat!
Uh,
So, what kind of dinosaur can jump higher than a house?
all of them. Houses can't jump.
Wait, I got another one. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl using the bathroom?
I don't know.
Because the P is silent.
Trick or treat! So, how do you get rid of all the butterflies in your stomach?
That's easy, humans. Stop eating all the caterpillars.
So, why did the kid throw butter out the window?
I don't know.
Because he wanted to see a butterfly! Ha ha ha!
Hello?
Hi! Which lizard do people wear to the beach?
I don't know.
Crocs!
Trick or treat!
Weren't you just here?
No.
So what's your joke?
So, how can you get an octopus to laugh?
I don't know.
10 tickles.
Finally, a fellow alien. Do you have a joke for me, my friend?
How do you go about removing invasive alien species in your yard? Well, you need a lopper, a saw, some herbicide, and...
I've got a joke. Why did the humans pollute their streams? I'm not sure either, because now they have to clean it up. Actually doesn't seem as funny as I originally thought. Well, now let's go talk to 2 humans as they reflect on their cleaning up of a creek. Hey everyone, it's James. This past weekend, my daughter and I joined in on the River to Pear Watershed Trash Bash, hosted by the Great Rivers Greenway, a great local organization here in St. Louis, who gave us gloves and trash bags and a specified location to clean up. And we were cleaning up around a bridge in U City in a small stream that feeds into the River to Pear. As you can see, there's lots of trash, lots of plastic hanging from the trees, all kinds of debris. It's kind of sad, depressing seeing all this, and then seeing lots of the animals that are bathing right here in this polluted creek. The sewage water is not the only thing that can affect the wildlife. As I mentioned, all the plastic debris, styrofoam, all kinds of stuff here within the creek. And those are typical things that you would see during a normal stream cleanup. But here during the coronavirus, we are seeing a whole new set of litter in the stream, and that is disposable PPE. Please, please dispose of your PPE in a sealed bag, a sealed trash bag, and make sure it finds its way to a landfill properly so it does not spill out when the trash truck goes and dumps that into its trash truck. Loose trash will just spill out onto the road, and then somebody is going to have to go physically clean that up out of the creek, or it's just going to end up downstream. So after a full morning of cleaning and filling the bags that we were given, I decided to take Annie downstream and show her some of the watershed that we are ultimately helping clean and stewards of. And we followed the river to Pear and went down to the new gravelway bridge crossing that just opened down in Limay to take a look at that area and to see what kind of things are happening in that area. And we came across some mallards bathing farther down in the creek. Again, not the cleanest water, but life does find a way to survive in these harsh conditions. Their lives may be greatly shortened, but they are able to persist, even with what we are throwing at them. And we even got to see a great blue heron fishing right down in that area. We also stopped and admired some of the last blooming flowers of the season. The Missouri native biennial evening primrose.
Hey Annie, what did we do today?
We picked up trash
Trash where?
near the river to Pear.
So it was in the River to Pear watershed,
Yeah.
and a lot of plastic and all kind of nasty stuff. And the water is contaminated with lots of pollution and human pollution. What are we standing in front of here?
The mouth of the river to Pear feeding into the Mississippi.
That's right, so that's the Mississippi over there with the barges in it.
Yeah.
And where is if that trash wouldn't have gotten picked up today, where would that trash have ended up?
It would have gone through the river to Pear to the Mississippi River, to the Gulf of Mexico, and to the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. What kind of wildlife did we see in the water today?
We saw a great blue heron, some ducks.
We saw mallards and wood ducks. The wood ducks were right where we were picking up trash.
I saw some robins and bluebirds bathing.
Yeah, bathing in the creek, yeah. And it's not the cleanest water, is it?
No, they're used to it.
Yeah, they're used to it.
How am I supposed to get this human communication device to work? Leslie, what do you want?
Well, what does a turkey dress up as for Halloween?
Please no more of this human humor.
A goblin. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And then, what do you call wood when it's scared?
I don't know.
Petrified.
No.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, volunteers.
Happy Halloween, volunteers.
Trick or treat.
Uh,
Wow.
Trick or treat. Why? No.